Asking what happened to the good people. I'm saying everybody want a good person until they get one, then they take advantage of them. They take their kindness for weakness. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to go around playing victim. When half the people playing victim is really the abuser.
I'm gonna let you men in on a little secret, ladies. Don't kill me for this, but women hate for a man to know his worth. I said it, yeah. We don't like that shit. Nigga come around thinking he know his worth. Oh, he too good for this, he too good for that. A man that know his worth ain't gonna let us play with him. And I don't like that. Me personally, I don't like that. Nigga, I need you to come around not knowing shit.
Black men are wearing purses today. Who does that benefit? LVMH? The black men getting their nails done at a higher rate. Who does that benefit? The Asian nail companies?
Correct.
Right? Our new habits are not benefiting us in a way where we're becoming more productive and gaining more power. Right?
100%.
We're actually losing power with our new habits. Right? Black women have, they weaponize you all.
Why do you think women entrepreneurs are like we're winning? Like there's so many of us. Why do you think that is?
Ooh, you're not gonna like my answer. It's systematically done. One thing that they did during slavery is that they made sure to emasculate the man, right, and then make the woman powerful, right? And the reason why they made the woman powerful is because we birthed the babies, right? And we are the primary caretakers of the babies. And we're going to do everything that we can to make sure our babies live. So we're going to be more, we're going to make sure our babies live.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary. Things are put in place so black women can feel like they don't need a man.
So you think it's designed to
Absolutely.
separate and conquer?
Absolutely.
When you look up what got us to this point is what you have to look up to, right? It's not just, it's 2003, black men ain't Hold on, what was happening in the 2000s? What was happening in the 90s?
Exactly. What caused it?
We're going to skip all of the different things that we've been going through every single decade, right, that got us up to this point. People are trying to cope with living in a world where we've had 500 years of pressure, right? For us to abandon each other as if you need to leave your man and go find a white man when his people is directly responsible for why your man is not in position.
Exactly.
So for me, that makes no sense. You can't go to the son of your enemy because of what he's done to your father.
Yeah, go fishing.
Two men cannot reproduce. Two women cannot reproduce. And now they're even transgenderizing our children. Do you know what that means? They're manipulating and indoctrinating African children to undergo sexual surgery so they'll never be able to reproduce again. When Dwayne Wade, whose son is now legally had his birth certificate changed. He's legally a girl.
Yeah.
Hormone therapy. When he gets 30 years old and looks in the mirror and says, you know what? I don't like living like this no more. I want to go back to being what God made me, a man. I want to get a wife and I want to have children. We only got one problem, don't we? Your reproductive is gone. We got another problem. Your testosteronic levels are gone. Your ability to produce healthy seed is gone. There is no going back. We are not looking at this LGBTQ thing the way we should be looking at it. It is birth control and racial extermination. Why you think Kamala Harris is traveling throughout Africa, trying to convince African countries to legalize gay marriage? Why does America care how Africa chooses to run its society? What do you care about marriage in Africa? Because if we can invade African culture to the point where we can manipulate African children into same-sex relationships or outright transgenderism, which is the extermination of your bloodline, we can start predicting the reduction of the African population. They'll never be able to get rid of all African people, but they can damn sure make a dent in our numbers. But more than that, they can disrupt the natural, traditional, healthy, cultural way that we live our lives, build our families, and run our societies. LGBTQ is one of the greatest weapons of white supremacy against the survival of African people.
Do you think people can be born gay?
No, I don't. And there's no conclusive evidence to that.
You know, a lot of gay people say they were born that way. They said that, you're saying...
A lot of murderers say they were born murderers. A lot of pedophiles say they were born pedophiles. So if we're going to say there's a gay gene, we're going to have to open up the conversation and say that there's a pedophile gene, which means if I molest children, I shouldn't go to jail because after all, it was in my DNA.
But no, hold on. Being a pedophile is illegal. Being a homosexual is not illegal.
True, but guess what? When the DSM-5 came out last year, that's the Bible of diagnoses, they say they accidentally put pedophilia in as a sexual orientation. Having sex with kids accidentally was not listed in the DSM as an illness. They had to quickly change that, and I think they did that on purpose because there's an organization called the North American Association for Man and Boy Love. They're trying to normalize and legalize pedophilia.
Oh, no, we got to blow them up.
It's on the internet. North American Association.
That sounds crazy.
I wasn't on stages like this. I was on rap stages rapping about, you know, violence and guns. You know, that we get paid to rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff, so I make sure I even a line and come talk on stages like this.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, you know, the record company pushing the narrative. You know, some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full.
Man, when we start cleaning up our communities, multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies is going to lose money, right? And they feed their families off of us killing each other. They send their children to school off of us killing each other. They live in mansions and drive on yachts off of us killing each other. The ambulance, the police officers, the pharmaceutical industry. When you get shot up and you got to take them perks and them pills, that's money. You see what I'm saying? That they losing when we stop killing each other. The ride to the ambulance, you get a hospital bill for that. They start losing money when we stop killing each other. You understand what I'm saying? The obituaries, the funeral homes, they start losing money. The lawyers that we paying millions of dollars to get us off this case, they start losing money when we stop killing each other. So you don't think it's somebody that's sitting in the back responsible for making sure that we keep killing each other so that they can keep eating? When you go to prison, each inmate, they make money, bro, off of the inmates up in there. They make money off of our free labor in prison, building stuff for them. You see what I'm saying? So you don't think it's people out here that's like, no, let me promote this rapper talking about sliding on the ops. Let me promote you trolling these brothers for somebody that you done killed. Because the more you incite them to murder and kill, the more we eat.
You have to realize that, yes, the involvement of violence in black folks comes from that long history that the president was talking about, that we have to remember that we learned from some of the best. They had some white boys came over here that did the first beheadings in Point Coupee, Louisiana, where I'm from. Slave insurrection, that was the way you dealt with it. Tuskegee syphilis incident. We're going to see how black men die if they have syphilis, but we pretend we treat them with penicillin, and we're just going to watch the pathology of how they die. Now, that wasn't back 200 years ago. That was 1930 to 1974. We're talking about giving these wonderful blankets to the Native Americans infected with smallpox as they walked on that trail of tears just to see how they die and to eliminate their population so we can take all of that land. So the violence that is in America has come from a very learned position that was brought here by some Caucasian folks. All right? So now, when it comes to the NFL, when it comes to the NFL, you have black men who have taken advantage of this opportunity to go there. So for every 1, 2, or 3 that may have been in the news because of violence, there are another 2,000 that deport themselves as gentlemen, as husbands, as fathers, and as great professionals. So we must remember them also.
Okay.
So, but you know, but yes, people are responding to that. They see that image of that black man. You know, one of the MacArthur Foundation fellows that just won is a psychologist, Jennifer Eberhardt from Stanford, who deals with racial messaging and inequalities that people is either learned or subconscious, that when you see me in a certain situation, you think violence. If they see you in a certain situation, people don't see violence. So the image of the black man being violent has been perpetuated for a long time.